Changing Lanes, the official podcast of BMW. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Changing Lanes. This is Jonathan Tilley, your co-host, and I'm very proud, I'm very excited, and I'm super honored to introduce you to a new member of the team, a new co-host. Her name is Nicki Shields. Welcome to the show, Nicki.
Thank you, Jonathan. What a lovely introduction, and I'm very excited to be joining you. We're teaming up. Should be fun.
Yes, I think so too. So for the people that don't know who you are yet, come on, Nicki, give us a little bit about who you are. Tell us your story of your history of working with cars and the amazing things that you do. And yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think it probably all began sitting on my dad's lap watching the Formula One when I was a little girl. So that was where my passion for motorsport really came from. And also love of cars really passed down sort of generations and generations. I got the bug, became a petrol head, but it was always very much a hobby of mine. I just loved watching racing or being around cars. And then one day, things changed and I was working as a TV presenter, broadcaster, and the opportunity came up to go and work at Goodwood. Now, Goodwood is a sort of famous racetrack in England. They have lots of events over the course of the year. Goodwood Festival of Speed is one of the biggest sort of festivals, celebrations of motorsport. The good and the great all come down and showcase all the different disciplines of motorsport. And cars and manufacturers as well. And so I got the opportunity to work at Goodwood. And because I think, you know what it's like, you end up wanting to always work in the industries that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And so I was drawn to it. And I would say from that moment on, the rest is history. Since then, I became about 6 years ago, I became the presenter and pit lane reporter for Formula E, the Electric Racing Championship. Which has been a really exciting journey because I also have a degree in biological sciences. So I did a lot of studying actually around sort of environment and sustainability. And so it was the perfect racing championship to be part of. And since then I still obviously do things at the likes of big car events like Goodwood. I'm normally either hanging out at a racetrack or driving a fast car. Always tend to go along to the motor shows. I have a show on CNN called Supercharged, business called electrifying.com. I've hosted various events such as the FIA big prize giving where we get to present Lewis Hamilton with his World Championship trophy.
Woohoo.
Who knows? Is it going to be Lewis this year? I don't know. Do all sorts for GQ Car Awards. That is a very short summary, but basically I'm usually talking or driving cars.
This sounds like a perfect fit for being the new co-host for BMW's podcast, Changing Lanes. Hand in hand, right?
Well, hopefully, yes.
Yeah. So your accolades speak wonders for you, Nicki, and that's amazing. But I think the podcast listeners might want to know a little bit more about you personally. Who is Nicki? So as you can tell from my accent, I'm American, but I live in Germany. Nicki, you sound British. You want to give us a little background on where you're from and what you do?
Yeah, I am a born and bred Londoner. I literally live about 15 minutes from where I was born.
Wow.
So I travel a lot for work, but I haven't lived a very exotic life in terms of, moving far from where I grew up. Yep, I live in London. I have a little 21-month-old little boy called Arthur who is... Well, he's turning into a right personality, let's just say that.
He's a handful. He's a handful.
He's a joy most of the time, but I do love it when he goes to nursery. That's about all, really. I'm trying to think what else to tell you about me. I don't really like doing exercise. I love eating chocolate. And I'm a terrible cook.
Well, if eating chocolate is a good substitute for cooking, I mean, I'm right there with you.
Exactly. I basically eat the main course as quickly as possible so I can have dessert.
To get to the chocolate.
To get to the chocolate, exactly.
Great minds think alike. And you were talking about, lithium-ion batteries. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, you posted on Instagram just describing how lithium-ion batteries work. It's just in your blood. You love doing what you do, and it's just such a great honor to have you in on the show and to be the co-host here on the podcast.
Oh, well, it's amazing to be on it. I've been listening, so hopefully I can, do the honors and get off to a flying start. But I do love talking about it. So whether it's the engineering side, whether it's the racing and the competition, whether it's the cars itself, it's I guess it's more of a lifestyle, isn't it?
There you go.
We live and breathe it now.
Exactly. You turn your passion into your job, and look at you. You're here with us today.
And it's true what they say. You don't work a day in your life.
Exactly. Most definitely. So podcast listeners, get ready, get set. This is our second year for the Changing Lanes podcast, and Nicki and I are so super excited to give you all the latest and super cool things dealing with BMW. So stay tuned, and we'll be in touch very soon with our next podcast coming at you.